Alright, this pregame video is on the Texas Longhorns against the OSU Cowboys. This is a big game. This is a conference game, a very important game. The OSU Cowboys coming in 3-0, the Texas Longhorns coming in 2-1. Good thing about this game, we are playing at home. That's always an advantage. The Cowboys have had our number for about the past decade. They've given the Longhorns a lot of problems. So this is definitely an opportunity for some redemption and to get back at this team. And the next few weeks, I'm really concerned with. We've got OSU, we've got West Virginia, and then the Red River rivalry game against OU. So these next few games are going to be very important when it comes to moving on and possibly having an opportunity for a Big 12 championship. So let's take a look at some stats from both sides. First of all, Texas getting the win this past weekend against Rice. You had OSU going up against the Tulsa Golden Hurricane. They won that game 40-21. We're going to look, pardon me, we're going to look at some stats from both sides. Sam Ehlinger, quarterback for the Texas Longhorns. He's 82 of 112. So, I mean, that's outstanding. 112 passes thrown, 82 complete. 73%. He's thrown for 956 yards so far with 11 touchdown passes, 121 yards on the ground with one scoring touchdown on the ground. Sam Ehlinger going in the 5th place all-time for a touchdown touchdown passes, I should say, passing Vince Young, so he is now 5th all-time as a sophomore with a lot of football left in his career, so he continues to smash those records. So 45 all-time career touchdown passes thrown by Sam Ehlinger. On the other side of that, with the running backs, with Ingram, really needs to pick it up. We really need to establish a better run game. We have the ability to do so. We've been having to go to the air a little bit too much, in my opinion, really relying on our receiving core. We really need to establish a run game, especially over the next 3 weeks. Hopefully we can do that in this next game against the Cowboys. So, Ingram, 181 yards on the ground. He's averaging 5.3 yards per carry. He's got 3 touchdowns. And Roschon Johnson from right here in Port Neches, Texas, he's having a really good showing so far. 117 yards on the ground so far, and he's averaging 4.7 yards per carry. So definitely somebody we can put into the mix more. The guy can catch the ball, he can run the ball, showing some versatility. Former quarterback, so don't be surprised if they don't let him throw the ball at some point. Trick plays, things of that sort. Wide receivers, let's take a look at that for Texas. Devin Duvernay, outstanding play so far. I would say definitely our top receiver at this point. 269 yards, averaging 10 yards per catch, 3 touchdowns. Brennan Eagles, 203 yards, averaging 22.6 yards per catch, also with 3 touchdowns. Brendan Eagles is one of those guys that's been showing up down the field. So don't be surprised if you see some deep balls going to Brennan Eagles. Colin Johnson, our top receiver, was out this past game against Rice. He really needs to come back. step up his game against OSU and show what he's made of. The 6'6" star wide receiver, in my opinion, did not show up in the game against LSU. He needs to show up in these next 3 games especially. 108 yards receiving so far, averaging 15.4 yards per catch. So he's getting open down the field, but he's not catching. He's not getting open enough, in my opinion. 1 touchdown reception. Dicker, the kicker, long of 57 yards in this last game against Rice. So we have a kicker who can come through in the clutch. The guy showed just a great, deal of accuracy in his kicks against Rice. Having the opportunity to showcase his talent, hitting some long field goals. His longest of that game was 57 yards. So in the clutch, we have a kicker that we can go to, can trust to keep us in games if it's a tight scoring situation, and you can look for that to happen, especially over these next 3 games. So like I said, OSU winning this game against Tulsa, their last game. They're coming into this game at DKR 3-0. Let's take a look at their quarterback, Saunders. He is only 43 of 64. So he's completed 43 of 64 passes. He's got 622 yards, averaging 9.7 per reception. 7 TD passes, not too shabby. There's a couple of guys in this mix on this offense that we really need to take a look at. Running back, Hubbard, 66 rushes for 521 yards. So that's a guy that we're going to have to shut down. 66 rush attempts for 521 yards, averaging 7.9, almost 8 yards per run. 7 touchdown rushes. This is a guy that we're going to have to shut down. So they've got an established run game. They're able to pass the ball as well. So we're going to definitely have to shut this guy down, and it's going to open up their pass game. The more he's able to run the ball, they're going to go to play action, and they're going to be able to open up their pass game. So we're going to have to get away, in my opinion, from going with the zone blitz. We're going to have to get away from doing that. I know the defensive coordinator wants to do that. We're going to have to get away from it because it's going to open up guys down the field, and we're going to get beat similar to what we did against LSU. So they're going to have to guard against the run, and we're going to have to shut some third down plays down. We're going to have to shut them down on third down in order to stay in this game, in my opinion. Wide receiver, Wallace, he's only got 15 receptions, but that's for 390 yards. He's averaging 26 yards per catch with 6 TDs. So they're going to have to shut this guy down as well. So they have an established run game. We can see that right off the bat. And they've got a very dangerous receiver, obviously, in Wallace. On the defensive side, they've got 6 total sacks and 2 interceptions. So they have a defense that's capable as well. So we're going to have to play a solid game, a complete game against OSU. And if we do that, we can come out on top. Hopefully we come out of this with no injuries. Shackelford, one of our best linemen, went down in this last game. I need to get the details of that, but definitely a leader on the team, somebody we need in there. It's an ankle injury, a high ankle injury. So hopefully he is back with us soon. So OSU, Texas at DKR Saturday night, 6:30 Central Standard Time. Going to be a great game. Great chance for some redemption. They've had our number in the past decade, really. They've given the Longhorns fits. So they've got some very dangerous players. Given some stats here, we have a dangerous quarterback that's capable. We need to get some of the receivers going. Johnson is the guy that needs to show up. He needs to show up and show what he's capable of doing. 6'6", the guy should be taking out some of these cornerbacks. So he should be winning those battles almost every time. I know that there's star cornerbacks out there, but Colin needs to show up. So OSU, Texas, Saturday night, going to be a great game. Hook 'em horns.